Welcome back, dear students. Now we are at the stage of epistatis. We are discussing the genetic interactions. The first genetic interaction that we studied are non-epistatic genetic interaction. For example, complementary genes and duplicate genes. Now we are discussing epistatic genetic interaction. So such type of genetic interaction has been based on the phenomenon of epistatis. The epistatis is inhibiting or suppressing one gene by another non-allelic gene, which is similar to the phenomenon of dominance. But here the genes are non-allelic genes, and in case of dominance where the genes are allelic genes. So the masking or suppressing the phenotypic expression of a gene by another non-allelic gene or locus, it is called as epistatis gene. So the gene which suppress or mask the phenotypic expression of a non-allelic gene, the gene is called as epistatis gene. And the gene which was suppressed by epistatis gene, it was called as hypostatic gene. So the phenomenon of epistatis comprises the inhibiting or suppressing one gene by another non-allelic gene. The epistatis is due to the interaction between the non-allelic genes present on two separate loci of a chromosome, in which one gene suppresses the expression of the other non-allelic gene. So this is about the epistatis. Now next to this is the types of epistatis. There are two types of epistatis: dominant epistatis and recessive epistatis. So based on the epistatis gene, whether it is dominant or recessive, there are two types of epistatis. One is dominant epistatis and another one is a recessive epistatis. So what happen in case of dominant epistatis? When a dominant gene at one locus of a chromosome inhibits or masks the expression of a non-allelic dominant gene at another locus of a chromosome, that is referred as dominant epistatis. So in this case, a dominant allele of a gene at one locus of a chromosome inhibits or masks the expression of a non-allelic dominant gene at another locus of a chromosome. The first gene is said to be dominant epistatis gene to the second non-allelic dominant gene. Suppose here there are two genes. When a epistatis gene which is dominant, which masks or inhibits the expression of a non-allelic dominant gene at another locus. So such type of epistatis is a dominant epistatis that can be explained with the help of masking genes. So the masking genes shows a dihybrid ratio of 12:3:1. Now we are going to study the example of dominant epistatis, that is the masking gene. When only one dominant gene of a pair of alleles inhibits or masks the expression of a dominant non-allelic gene of the second pair, it is called as dominant epistatis or masking gene. Similar is the case where when only one dominant gene of a pair inhibits or masks the phenotypic expression of a dominant non-allelic gene of the second pair, it is called as dominant epistatis. So for example, in Cucurbita pepo, there are three colors of the fruits, namely white, yellow and green. The white color is due to the dominant gene W. So if the gene is dominant, we written it as in capital letters. The white color is due to the dominant gene W, that is the capital W. Yellow color is due to the dominant gene capital Y, and green color is due to the recessive gene small WWYY. White color W is dominant over both yellow Y and green colors, that is WWYY. But yellow color is dominant over green color only. Thus W is the dominant epistatic gene to non-allelic dominant gene capital Y as well as non-allelic homozygous recessive gene, that is small y, small y. So in cucurbita pepo there are three types of fruit colors: white, yellow and green. The white color of the fruit is due to the dominant gene W. Yellow color of the fruit is due to the dominant gene Y. And the green color is because of no any dominant gene. All the genes are recessive gene, so the color is green. White color, that is dominates over both yellow and green color, because the white color capital W, this gene dominate over both yellow capital Y and green colors small w w y y. Yellow color is dominant over green color. Thus, W is the dominant epistatic gene to non-allelic dominant gene Y as well as non-allelic homozygous recessive gene small y y. The dominant gene W suppresses or masks the expression of non-allelic dominant gene Y. So this W gene, it is dominant over another non-allelic dominant gene Y. So what happen here? The genotype like WW, capital WW or capital W small w, it is white. When the genotype is capital W capital Y, the genotype is white. If the genotype is small w capital Y, the phenotype is yellow. If it is small w y, the phenotype is green. So here from this genotype we can say that if the W is dominant, then the phenotypic expression is white, whether the Y is dominant or recessive. If the Y is dominant, the W is dominant, the phenotypic expression is white. If W is recessive and Y is dominant, then the phenotypic expression is yellow. If both are recessive, means W and Y both are recessive, the phenotype is green. Okay, so W dominates over the Y and green also. Yellow Y, that is dominates over the green. So when the W is dominant, then it inhibits or suppress the expression of the capital Y, that is the dominant Y gene, which stands for yellow color. So the phenotypic expression is a white because of the presence of dominant W gene. So here there are two genes, W and Y. If the W is dominant, then the phenotypic expression is white. If the Y is dominant, then the phenotypic expression is yellow. If both are recessive, the phenotypic expression is green. But what happen here? When both the genes are occurred together in an individual, if the W is dominant and Y is also dominant, then the phenotypic expression is white. The yellow expression occurs only when the W is recessive and Y is dominant. So the genotype like small w capital Y, it is yellow. But the capital W capital Y, the phenotype is white. When both are recessive, small w small y, then the phenotypic expression is green. So there are three colors of fruits in cucurbita pepo: white, yellow and green, because of the dominance of two genes W and Y. When both the genes are occurred together in a dominant form, then the phenotypic expression is white. If W is recessive and Y is dominant, then the phenotype is yellow. And if both are recessive, the phenotype is green. Okay, for that we are going to make a cross between the two individuals of the cucurbita pepo. When a cucurbita pepo plant having white fruits, the genotype is capital WWYY, is crossed with a cucurbita pepo plant having green fruits, small WWYY. All the F1 plant producing white fruits having a genotypes of capital W, small w, capital Y, small y. So this is a cross between white fruits and green fruits of cucurbita pepo plant. So white fruits having a genotype of capital WWYY and the green fruits having a genotype of small WWYY. The gametes are capital W, capital Y, here is the gametes are small w, small y. When these gametes are fuses during the process of fertilization, it produces the F1 hybrid having a genotype of capital W, small w, capital Y, small y. The color is white. So the phenotype of the F1 hybrid it is white colored fruits. When these F1 hybrids are allowed to self-pollinated, we are performing selfing between the individuals of the F1 hybrids. We get the different types of gametes like this. Here capital W, capital Y, we get capital WY. Similarly, capital W, small y, we get capital W, small y. Now small w, capital Y, we get small w, capital Y. Here this small w, small y, we get the gamete small w y. So these are the gametes of F1 hybrid. Okay. In F2 generation, when F1 hybrids are self-pollinated, the plants producing white, yellow and green fruits in the ratio of 12:3:1 respectively. Means 12 white, 3 yellow and 1 green. So this is happen because of the fusion of the gametes of F1 individuals. These F1s are allowed to self-pollinate. The gametes produced are capital W Y, capital W, small y, small w, capital Y, small w y. Similar types of gametes are also produced by the female parent. When these gametes are fused with each other, we get the different genotypic combination by using a checkerboard. So here this is the male side, this one is the female side. The gametes we written like this: capital W Y, capital W, small y, small w, capital Y, small w y. Similar types of gametes are also produced by the female parent. So by the combination of these parents, we get capital W W Y Y. The phenotype is white. Here also white, because this W and Y in this genotype which is dominant. Here is also this W and Y is dominant. Here also W and Y is dominant. So when both the alleles are dominant in an genotype, then we get the white phenotypic expression. But in this case here, this W is small and Y is capital. So due to the presence of a dominant allele capital Y, the phenotype is yellow. This dominant, this W gene or the allele of the W gene is not able to mask the phenotypic expression of another dominant gene Y, because here it is recessive. Here is the recessive. Similar is the case in this genotype also, this W is recessive. So Y get expressed, it produces the yellow phenotype. Here also this W is recessive, so it produces the yellow phenotype. Otherwise it produces the white phenotype. Here also this W is capital, means it is dominant, so it produces the white. Here also it masks the phenotypic expression of the non-allelic gene capital Y, so the phenotype is white. So this is the dominant epistatis. When this epistatis gene is dominant, then it masks or suppress the phenotypic expression of another non-allelic dominant gene Y. So when both the genes, when this W is dominant, then it produces the phenotype white. Here this W is recessive, then it produces the yellow. This Y get expressed because W is recessive. Here also this W is recessive, so Y get expressed. Here also this single capital Y, this single dominant allele is present in this genotype. So because of this only it produces the yellow color, because W is recessive. But in the case of a green colored phenotype where all are recessive, means it possesses small w w y y. So there is nothing masking effect or the suppression of the one gene by the other gene. So the phenotype is green color. So if you count the different phenotypic combinations by using the checkerboard, we get the F2 phenotypic ratio of 12 white, 3 yellow and 1 green. So this is dominant epistatis, for example masking gene. The F2 phenotypic ratio is 12:3:1. So 12 white, 3 yellow and 1 green individuals are obtained by the selfing of F1 hybrids in F2 generation. So in the masking gene, this F2 ratio, that is 12:3:1, is called dominant epistatic ratio, and the gene W responsible for the dominant epistatis, it is called dominant epistatic gene. So here there are two genes, W and Y. This W is a epistatic gene. If it is a dominant, then it masks the phenotypic expression of the other gene, that is the capital Y. Because the fruit color in Cucurbita pepo is determined by two dominant non-allelic genes W and Y. But when the dominant epistatic gene W is present along with the dominant non-allelic gene Y, the expression of gene Y is suppressed by the gene W, and hence the gene Y is not expressing itself, means it is not able to produce the yellow color because of the dominant W gene present in the individual along with the dominant non-allelic gene Y. So this is the case of dominant epistatis. So the fruit color in Cucurbita, it has been determined by the two dominant non-allelic gene. These are two different genes that has been located at two different positions or locations on the chromosome. The genes are W and Y. When this W, which is a dominant epistatic gene, it is present along with the dominant non-allelic gene Y, the expression of the Y gene is suppressed by the dominant W gene, and hence the gene Y is not expressing yellow color. When the gene Y is present alone, it expresses yellow color, while the homozygote condition, that is small WWYY, expresses green color. So when this Y gene is present alone, which is dominant, and there is recessive W gene, then in this case it expresses yellow color. Okay, so that we seen in the checkerboard also. Here also this small WW, capital YY, because of the presence of recessive gene W, this Y gene get expressed because it is a dominant, and there is nothing to mask this Y gene. There is nothing means there is no dominant W gene for masking the phenotypic expression of dominant gene Y. So the yellow color has been appeared in the individual. So here the two genotypes, that is small WW, capital YY, another one is a small WW, capital Y, small y. Here we get the yellow individual. This third one is also similar to this second one. So here the three individuals having the genotype of small WW and a dominant Y allele, because of which it produces the phenotypic expression of yellow color. Okay. The ratio 12:3:1 is thus the modification of Mendelian usual dihybrid ratio, that is 9:3:3:1, in which the first two categories, that is 9 and 3, merge to form 12 in the ratio. As you know, the Mendelian classical dihybrid ratio 9:3:3:1. But in case of masking gene, due to the dominant epistatis, the first two categories 9 and 3, they are merged together to form 9 plus 3, that is 12, in the ratio of 12:3:1. So this is about the masking genes. Now we are going to start the supplementary genes, and the ratio is 9:3:4. So this is the example of recessive epistatis. So like the dominant epistatis, if the epistatis gene is recessive, usually it masks or suppresses the phenotypic expression of non-allelic or another gene. So that type of epistatis, it is called as recessive epistatis. Sometimes the recessive allele of one gene locus mask the phenotypic expression of allele of another gene locus. This type of epistatis is called recessive epistatis. So what happen in this case? There are two genes, one is a C and another one is a A. If this C gene is recessive, means it is small c, mask the phenotypic expression of alleles of another gene, that is capital A or capital A small a or small a small a. Here is the condition is that the gene C should be recessive. If it is recessive, it masks the phenotypic expression of another gene. Whether it is this another gene is whether it is dominant or recessive, it masks its phenotypic expression. So here there are two genes C and A. This C gene is the epistatic gene and A gene is a hypostatic gene. The C gene masks the phenotypic expression of A gene. So C gene we say it is a epistatic gene, and A gene whose phenotypic expression is masked or suppressed we say it is hypostatic gene. So this type of epistatis is called recessive epistatis. In nutshell, what happen? The recessive allele of one gene, that is small c masks the phenotypic expression of another gene, that is capital A, small a or small a, small a. The allele of A locus express themselves only when epistatic locus has dominant allele. So it is different to the dominant epistatis if the epistatis locus has dominant allele. For example, capital C or capital C small c. Then and then this second gene has been get expressed. So due to recessive epistatis, the phenotypic ratio 9:3:3:1 becomes modified into 9:3:4 ratio. So in recessive epistatis, for example, supplementary genes, there are two genes C and A gene. This C gene is a epistatic gene, A gene is a hypostatic gene. When this C gene is recessive, it is not able to make the phenotypic expression of gene A. If it is dominant, whether it is homozygous dominant or heterozygous dominant, that is capital C or capital C small c, then and then only the A gene get expressed. So allele of A gene locus express themselves only when the epistatic locus has dominant alleles, that is capital C or capital C small c. So due to this recessive epistatis, the classical Mendelian dihybrid ratio 9:3:3:1 has been modified into 9:3:4 ratio. Now here to explain this supplementary gene, I am going to take an example of coat color in mice. The most interesting case of recessive epistatis in mice coat colors I am going to explain here. The common house mice occurs in a number of coat colors, that is agouti, black and albino. So the common house mice that has been occurred in three different coat colors, agouti, black and albino. This agouti color pattern is commonly occurred one, so we say it is a wild type and is characterized by color banded hairs in which the part nearest to the skin is grey. So the agouti coat color of the mice, it has been characterized by the color banded hairs. Color banded hairs, the hairs having the color bands. So what type of bands are seen in the agouti mice? The part nearest to the skin is grey, then a yellow band, and finally the distal part is either black or brown. So if you see the individual hairs of the agouti mice, we found that the part nearest to the skin of the mice, it is grey. Then next to the grey, a yellow band, and finally the distal portion is either black or brown, while the albino mouse lacks totally in pigment, so it is white in color. Totally lacks in pigment, so it is white and has a white hairs and pink eyes. The black mice, it is black in color. So there are three types of coat colors found in the house mice, and this coat color pattern is due to the recessive epistatis. So here we are going to study these supplementary genes with the help of an example of mice coat color. There are three coat colors: agouti, black and albino. Agouti color is characterized by color banded hairs. The color pattern is such as the part of the hair nearest to the skin, it is grey, then a yellow band, and finally the distal part of the hair is either black or brown. The albino mouse, that lacks totally in pigment, so it is white in color, it having white hairs and pink eyes. When a homozygous black, the genotype is capital CC small aa, is crossed with a homozygous albino mouse having a genotype of small cc capital AA, in F1 all agouti offspring has been appeared. The genotype is capital C small c capital A small a. So when a cross has been made between a black and albino mice, here the genotype of black mice is capital C small a, while albino mouse having a genotype of small c capital A capital A. The gametes produced by these two parents, here this black parent produces the gametes capital C small a. Albino parents produce the gametes small c capital A. When these gametes are fused with each other during the process of fertilization, it produces the F1 hybrid having a genotype of capital C capital A small a, and the phenotype is agouti. Now these F1 hybrids are self-pollinate, self-fertilize, then it produce the gametes like capital C capital A, capital C small c capital A small c small a. So here when a cross has been made between a black colored mouse and an albino colored mouse, then in F1 the agouti offsprings has been appeared. So these agouti offsprings are appeared because of the two dominant gene capital C and capital A, because of which these genes supplement each other to produce a different phenotype, that is the agouti. Here in case of albino mouse parent, here this small c, it is an example of recessive epicet. It is not able to express the gene A because of the presence of recessive gene C or recessive allele C, because of which this A alleles, dominant A allele, is not able to express. When the F1 agouti are crossed among themselves, in F2 agouti, black and albino offsprings appeared in the ratio of 9:3:1. 9 agouti, 3 black and 4 albino. So what happened here? After selfing we get the gametes capital CA, capital CA, capital C small c, capital A, small c a. Similar types of gametes are also produced by the another one parent. So by using a checkerboard we get the 16 individuals in the different phenotypic combinations. That is, here this is the male side, this one is the female side. We get capital CC, capital AA, here capital C, capital A, small a. Here in both cases the phenotype is agouti. Here is also agouti, here is also agouti, but here we found a different phenotype, that is the black. How it is a black? Because this A gene is recessive, this C gene is dominant, this C gene get expressed, it produces the black coat color of the mice. This albino color occur because of the recessive allele small c which masks the phenotypic expression of the A gene. The phenotypic expression of the A gene occurred only when it occurs along with the another dominant gene capital C. So here those genotype where both the alleles are dominant, whether it is a single allele, if it is dominant it produces the agouti color. here also agouti, here also agouti, agouti, agouti. Here we can see that this capital C, capital A, because of which it is agouti. Here is a only one capital C, here also only one capital C, here also only one capital C, but this A in all these three genotype are recessive because of the coat color is black. But in case of albino mouse, where we found that this recessive epistatis gene, that is small c, inhibits or suppress the phenotypic expression of another gene A, because of which the mice coat color is albino. So 4 cases we found, 4 individuals having albino color. So if you see the F2 phenotypic ratio, we get 9 agouti, 3 black and 4 albino. So this is the case of recessive epistatis. These 4 albino mice are occurred due to the recessive epistatis gene C, which not able to express the another dominant gene A. It is dominant, but it is not able to express itself because of the presence of recessive gene C. So if the cross between black and albino mice, one thing becomes apparent, that two independent pairs of gene, that is capital C small c and capital A small a, have interacted in the production of a phenotypic trait, that is the coat color, in such a way that one dominant C produces its effects whether or not the second A is present. This C produces its effect. If the A is small, then the color is black. Okay, so this C can produce its effect whether the A is present or not. If it is present, it is agouti. If it is not present, it is black. But the second A gene can produce its effects only in the presence of the first gene, that is the C. So these genes C and A have been termed as supplementary genes. So in the checkerboard we found that this C can express itself whether the another one gene it is present or not, means it is dominant or recessive. Here it is dominant, it produces the agouti. When it is recessive, it produces the black. So for the color production, whatever it is, agouti or black, this dominant C should be present. For the production of agouti, both C and A should be dominant. But for the production of black color, only C gene, only dominant C gene has been required. Okay. When both are dominant, it produces the agouti. But the third case is that when this A gene is dominant and the C gene is recessive, then it masks the phenotypic expression of the A gene. So because of which the albino mice has been produced. So this supplementary gene or recessive epistatis can be defined as sometimes the recessive allele of one gene locus small c masks the phenotypic expression of alleles of another gene locus, that is capital A small a or small a allele. This type of epistatis is called recessive epistatis. So this ends our epistatis, whatever it is, dominant epistatis or recessive epistatis. So there are two types of epistatis, dominant epistatis and recessive epistatis. So to explain the dominant epistatis, we have to take the example of masking genes. So the ratio is 12:3:1. But for recessive epistatis, the example is supplementary gene. The ratio is 9:3:4. So this ends epistatis, both dominant epistatis and recessive epistatis. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.